Hello everybody, this is Iced Blood. Welcome back to Dark Souls 2. Last video was... I'm gonna call it special. I'm gonna call it special because we defeated our first boss. Granted, he was the first boss of 40 and the easiest in the game, but hey, okay, it was progress. And we got ourselves a nice batch of souls for it. But the last giant was not a proper challenge for the great knight IB. He needs something more difficult to sharpen his skills before he goes off to see the king. Notice right there, that's Melentia. She's the old merchant lady. She has now moved here to Majula. We are developing a nice little community here. So there's another boss here in the general area of the forest, and we are going to track him down today. That is our goal. That is our mission. He is called the Pursuer, and as befitting such a name, we are now pursuing him. Here's hoping this works out. The first boss, as evidenced by the fact that I managed to kill him on the first try, not indicative of the general difficulty that these games are known for. I've been doing pretty well, actually. I think I'm confident in saying that I've been doing rather well. 3 deaths in 4 videos, not such a bad track record, actually. And these games are, of course, known for their difficulty, so some of you might be wondering, well, where's the hard part? If a quack like Iced Blood can do it, then how can this be hard? I don't know if anybody is actually thinking that, but I certainly am. And so, here's hoping that the Pursuer provides a worthier challenge, but also that I manage to overcome it. I'd much rather make this game look easy than hard, to be honest. That's some bullshit. I got a backstab. Damn it, do we have... Nope, we don't have any ranged weaponry. That presents a problem. Wait. Do we... We do. We have a bow and can't use it. Great. So how am I going to handle... There's a ladder back there, of course, but an event happens if I go up that ladder, and I'd rather not trigger it while this little fucker is throwing fire at me. Get down here. Get, you little coward. Get down here. You come off that wall right... Hey! Whoa! Whoa. You are not part of this conversation, sir. I don't appreciate being interrupted. You son of a bitch. Ooh, a life gem. Oh, well, I guess we've got no choice. Damn it. You may have noticed some feathers there. That is the event I was talking about. And... lovely. This is... You. Well then. Never mind the event that I was hoping to not have to trigger. It is now over. And never mind. The special thing that happens there is we can fight the Pursuer boss before we reach his actual arena on that platform up there, where we died, rather pathetically. And if you kill him there, it's not necessarily anything special. It's just, well, it's kind of a neat little thing that you can actually kill a boss before you reach his designated area. It's kind of a cool thing. And I had hoped to show that off, at least to try the fight. If not, you know, actually beat him. Wouldn't that have been cool? You know, beat the second boss before we even reached the point where he's supposed to be. That would have been awesome. But unfortunately, well, I was hoping that there'd be more of a challenge, right? I was hoping that I wouldn't make the game look too easy, but I ended up making myself look like an idiot instead. I suppose that's a sacrifice I'll just have to live with. Death number 4. Death by stupidity. Excellent. In that case, well, we can now safely go up this ladder because we don't have to worry about anything. See, no bird, but there are our souls. Might as well pick those up. What can we... Damn it, don't I have a vertical strike? I could swear I had one. Nope, that ain't it. That is not it. That is... I'll take it. Not the most glamorous combative technique. Combative technique? Is that even a phrase? What the hell are you doing? Get the hell away. I'm not... I don't want to play with you. What are you... Oh, these irresponsible zombies crawling around on walls. They... You piece of shit. See what happens when you stand up on a wall like that? You fall off and you get injured, and it's just no fun for anybody. Who do you think has to bandage up your broken ankle and torn skin and whatever else happens when you make a fall like that? Do you really... Never mind. I'm not sure where this metaphor is going. Basically, I hate these things and I hope they all die friendless and alone. How to handle this? I need to get back to... I believe we saw in an episode before this... I'm pretty sure that I had this on camera. There was a door that we had found, and it was locked. And that is what we're looking for. Using the key that we got from the last giant, we'll be able to unlock that door and enter into the next area, which will, of course, lead us to our prey. I am doing wonderfully today. This is fantastic playing. I am an expert, folks, you can tell. Oh boy. You might be wondering why grab a shield if you're just gonna hold your sword in two hands. I don't have an answer. Honestly, I mean, I guess they can prove useful. The thing I have, the reason I hesitate to say that is because the beginning shields in the game don't actually block 100% physical damage. You still lose a little bit of health, even if you're blocking. Now, it's not much. It's definitely less than I would lose if I just get, you know, curb stomped by someone's weapon without the benefit of a shield. However, the fact that it's not a permanent... Not permanent, that's not the right word. The fact that it isn't complete, the fact that the defense is not entire, it's... I'm not sure how I'm trying to phrase this. Just the fact that it's not 100% makes me not really want to rely on it. I'd much rather remind myself how to roll. That would be more useful as in terms of skill. I am talking wonderfully today using just... Look at how that college education has managed to benefit me. Here I am on YouTube, stumbling over my words for no good goddamn reason. It's not even like I'm fighting anything particularly difficult. I'm just making it through an area, talking about the fact that I'm too stupid to use my shield. I can't... Aye, what the hell? Where did you come from? This game cheats. I'm just gonna come right out and say that. It doesn't, actually. That's one of the things about these games that that I really enjoy about the mechanics, and that is the simple fact that while they are known for their difficulty, and they're definitely unforgiving, there is no hand-holding, to use the popular phrase. While they are unforgiving, they are unflinchingly fair. Whenever you die, it's because you did something wrong. Hopefully we won't see too much of that. This is our destination. We will walk through the mist, and we will find a distraction because I don't want to fight him yet. Ooh, more life gems. Yay. Always useful. Here we go. I wonder about that bird a lot more than I probably should. Oh, hi. How are you? I'm fine. Would you like tea? I could... Oh, that's just fair. Okay, here's the Pursuer. The basic strategy on fighting the Pursuer is basically the same as the Last Giant and basically every other boss in the game. Do not get hit. The thing is, his attack patterns are a little more complex than the Giant, and clearly I cannot dodge nearly as effectively as I did. Do not get hit by that. You see that? You see how his sword changed color? That is a recipe for disaster. If you allow him to get that attack off and skewer you while his sword is glowing, you're in for a world of hurt. So make sure, if you're playing along with me, to avoid that move like the plague. Sorry about that. I have an old chair. If you heard the squeaking of my chair, my apologies. So, there it is again. I hate you, Pursuer. This is getting old. You might notice, well, not anymore. Well, there's one more over to the right there. Those ballistas. They can be used against him. However, it's pretty much a tactic only useful in co-op. If you summon either another player or an NPC, it's a little more useful because they can distract the Pursuer, they can bring him over to a certain part, and then you can use the ballista to hit him for a lot of damage. However, in the standard one-on-one fight, he moves around far too much trying to get you for you to be able to get that kind of tactic in any way useful. At least I'm pretty sure that's the case. He's about halfway, I think. We're doing pretty well, actually. I'm surprised. I'm not playing all that particularly well. And see, this is where rolling becomes very useful. As you can see, that roll was not very good because he's still... Damn it! What is wrong with... I remember being good at this one. Another glowing sword. See, there it is. I can do this. I know how. It's just... Oh, see? Oh, that was bull crap. Come on now. There it is. Well, death number 5. We've lost to the Pursuer. Our streak of killing bosses in one turn has died with the second boss. Lovely. This is basically the juggling act of Dark Souls in a nutshell. Finding your way to the boss you're trying to kill from the bonfire that you were last at, and making sure that you make the trip as quickly as possible to minimize downtime. Before we do that, though, I'm going to break protocol and see if I can't... see how many souls I can get by using these. And then we'll see if we can't do something about our equipment. Maybe we can upgrade our weapon and do a little more damage. That could certainly prove useful. Our armor, not particularly. You might think, well, if we're getting hit for too much damage, let's upgrade our armor. On some level, that can work. Certainly, it's better than in Dark Souls 1.
Stand back. This is dangerous
Don't
work.
talk to me about dangerous work, you little shit.
The name's Lenigrast. Just a simple blacksmith.
Yeah, simple.
And you are?
Okay.
Another useless traveler.
Well, that's not
A
nice.
man ought to labor with his feet planted firmly
Look at
in
this
the earth.
dramatic camera angle. Are you
Not
sure I'm
roam
useless
around
now?
Like you flirtatious vagabonds.
I mean,
Oh,
I could
what
be
does it matter?
flirtatious if you wanted me to
Go
be.
on, show me what you've got.
Oh.
Your equipment.
Oh.
Let me have a look. But do it
Wait.
quick.
Okay, enough with the sexual innuendo jokes, I'm sorry. So, we could pick up some weapons. I think there are some weapons that we can buy from him, at least some stuff. But what we're going to do is some reinforcements. So let's reinforce our sword there. And I think we can... Aha! He has 10 Titanite shards, so we can afford 2 of them. 500. Damn. Damn, okay, so to get the second upgrade, we need a bit more souls.
I'll be
Now,
around.
any reasonable person would go and find a couple of enemies, kill them, come back here, upgrade the sword again, and move on to the pursuer again. I am not a reasonable person. I am too impatient, and I don't want my streak to have ended in vain. Basically, what I mean is, I hate the fact that I lost, and I want to kill him the second time. I think I could live with that. So, let's do it. Okay, so he's out. Ow. Lovely, lovely. Something that hasn't been brought up yet, but now that I've died a few times, you can probably notice that our maximum health is substantially lower than it was in the beginning of the game. That is a mechanic that they brought in. From Software added this in as sort of a mixture between Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls. In Demon Souls, you had 2 forms. There was human form and soul form, I believe. Might have been phantom form. I'm not entirely sure of the proper terminology. But in soul form, we'll call it that because, you know, it's the Souls series. In soul form, you had half of your usual health bar. So half of your health bar was for you to use when you were in soul form. The only way you can have a full health bar is if you were human. The thing about being human in Demon Souls, and this is the case in Dark Souls 1 as well, you had the chance to be invaded by other players. That was satisfying. Or NPC invaders. The NPC invaders were nice because you could I think it was pretty much a guarantee to get equipment from them, and even if it wasn't a guarantee, you had a pretty good chance. This is going well. Oh, this is okay. This is actually something important. Whoa, shit! That was a smart move. Dying in Dark Souls, it can be a very severe problem, and here is the reason why. It lends itself toward impatience. And the worst killer of Dark Souls players, the leading cause of death in the Dark Souls universes, is impatience. Impatience kills you more than enemies ever will. The entire point of this game is slow, methodical aggression. And as you could see, it does not lend itself very easily when you have died, particularly if you've played the game before, like me, and you know you can do it. It makes it quite difficult to handle the fact that sometimes you just can't. So here we have, here's what we'll try and do. We'll try and use this shield against him this time and see how it goes. That, lovely. Okay, there's the major... a lot of enemies have certain moves like that that eat through your stamina bar. Notice the green bar underneath the health. That's the stamina bar. You use it for everything: attacking, running, and blocking. And the way that it works when you're blocking is instead of attacking your health, an enemy's attacks will hit your stamina, and as soon as you run out, you are staggered. Now, staggered in Dark Souls 1, relatively easy to deal with. In this one, you get a great number of frames where you are completely vulnerable, and especially in the case of a boss fight, that can be deadly. So the important thing is to not do that, not to let it happen, because, yeah, shit. Okay, more learning. This is what happens when you get hit by that attack. You are cursed, which means that my health goes down again, as though I had died a couple more times, I believe. And the more important element, and the reason why this attack is so dangerous, is because the Pursuer gains a power boost from it. And as you can see, I handled it gloriously. So what is that? Death 6? Yeah. Alright. Alright, Pursuer. I see your game. I see your game. and I raise you appropriate gambling metaphors. In case you hadn't noticed, I am not a gambler. I have never understood the appeal of gambling. I think the biggest gamble I end up engaging with in a regular basis is Steam sales. I gamble with myself every time I buy a game on Steam, because the chances that I'll play it are somewhat slim on occasion, and the chances that I'll beat a given game that I buy on Steam, those chances are even worse. Can we? Yeah, okay. We don't have to fight him, and he takes a long frickin' time, so I'd rather not if I can avoid it. In fact, I think we could probably avoid all the enemies in this pathway to the Pursuer, which we probably will end up doing. Yeah, because these guys aren't... Yeah, okay, we should be fine about this. Alright, so, what can... Whoa, there's a guy. Hi. What are you doing here? Oh, you know, just enjoying the view. There's a nice sun here. It's nice to go sunbathing here. I sit up here and I think about life and unlife and death and all those other things. Sometimes I like to stab things. Okay. Let's gain all our health back. That might help, and we're getting close to the halfway point, which is where the deterioration of health stops. I don't think we need to bother with a summon sign. Let's try it again. The shield did definitely do its job, but I think that there is a fine line between the method we used the first time we fought this guy, which was just to two-hander weapon and dodge his attacks, which was actually quite useful, and we got him halfway dead. And even though obviously the shield is effective in blocking his attacks, I think the issue with using a shield is that it tends to slow down the fight. You have to be more methodical. You have to not let that happen, because you have stamina management to worry about. There's 7, folks. 7's a lucky number. You have stamina management to worry about, and because of that, you have to be a bit more deliberate. Since, of course, like I said, your attacks take up stamina just as much as your blocks do. Your dodging takes up stamina too. The thing about holding up your shield, though, is it impedes your stamina recovery. And so add that to everything, and you've basically got a recipe for very slow fighting, and it kind of makes things a little more difficult, even as it seemingly makes things easier. The problem with all this is, I'm not particularly good at the method of fighting that involves constant dodging. I tend to use a shield a lot, and because of that, endurance is usually one of the bigger skills that I invest in. Currently, we're still near the beginning of the game. I could do my usual thing and grind out some soul levels, but I want this playthrough to be different than that. I want to record as much of this playthrough as possible, and I also don't want to subject you to a lot of mindless grinding, because, well, it's boring to watch, which means I'm basically handicapping myself a little bit, particularly since I'm not bothering with magic, which tends to be really powerful, and in fact would probably make this boss fight quite a bit easier, because it would require us to maintain a healthy distance. I had another character that I started that is a sorcerer build. I call it a build even though I barely played him. So technically it's just I had a character and I started him as a sorcerer. And the issue is, while bosses might be easier, I've heard that theory, and I've heard... 8. Awesome. I have heard that using magic is overpowered in Dark Souls 2. Particularly by comparison to Dark Souls 1, where it was useful but not viable as an entire build. And I found that the sorcerer was actually not all that easy to use. He was actually rather difficult for me. I think I prefer melee combat. I feel like the game was made with melee combat in mind. That's the point, sort of. I think when I say it's the point, what I actually mean is the difficulty of the game is effectively fine-tuned toward melee combat. Since magic is very powerful in this iteration of a Souls game, it makes the game rather... I hesitate to call it easy because, obviously, like I said, I'm having trouble with it. But basically, it takes away some of the... How do I want to put this? The game feels better in melee. Feels more deliberate. Feels more fine-tuned. Feels more like what the developers were intending when they made the game. Now, I'm not sure if I'm correct in that at all. I could be full of crap. I take everything that I say in regard to what the developers planned with a healthy grain of salt. I have no ins at From Software. I have no idea what they had planned. That was cool. Hell yeah. Apparently what I need to do is distract myself in order to fight correctly. Let's see if that'll work against the boss. Yeah, I don't know anything about From Software's development process. I avoided a lot of the early footage of this game before it came out. I wanted to be surprised, is basically what it comes down to. My first playthrough was completely blind. I have the Collector's Edition Strategy Guide. By the way, AJ, thank you very much for buying it for me. You know I don't use that nickname very much, but I figured it was, appropriate for this video since, well, nobody knows who you are. Anyway, it is a very nice book. It is an excellent addition to my library, but I didn't use it much. My first playthrough, I wanted to be completely blind. I wanted this, folks. I didn't want to look up strategies for bosses. I wanted to die 17 times to each of them and feel like I really earned it. I'm not earning it. This is crap. There it is. Oh boy. Okay, so I hate to do this. I don't want to end the video on a low point like this. But I need to figure out a different strategy. I need to figure out what it is that I'm doing wrong. So we're going to end the video here. We have a total of 9 deaths. We have tripled our death count so far. And, well, that's it. I'll see you next time. Hopefully we will beat him then.